Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV. Today we're talking about what you can learn from a salad fork. Are you ready? Let's get started. Today is the fourth in a series of challenges issued to me by people like you who said, Kevin, how do you connect leadership to item X? Well, item X, according to Margaret Martin, was a salad fork. And for issuing that challenge to me, Margaret, we're going to send you a copy of our journal, but now I've got to do the challenge, and I've got to take this salad fork and connect it to leadership, or what we can learn as leaders from a salad fork. So here we go. First of all, a salad fork has a special role. Now, most of the time at my table, we only have one fork. But if you're at a fancy table or if you're at a good restaurant, you got multiple forks. And you know that this fork has a special purpose. It's to be used for the salad, hence the name. But here's the thing. This fork could do more. Like, I'll be honest, sometimes at our house, if a lot of forks are in the dishwasher, I might use this fork for other stuff. But the reality is, while this fork could do more, it understands its role. It limits its role to what it should be, and that's what a leader should do. A leader should understand their role and stay within that lane, stay within that role, okay? So in that way, we're like a salad fork, but there's a lot more than just that. 3 more lessons that I want you to take as a leader from this salad fork. Number 1, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I mean, just because my wife might eat ice cream with this fork doesn't mean that she should. And just because you can do it, by the way, she does eat ice cream with a fork, don't ask me. I love her anyway. Okay, so here's the thing. Even though I could do a lot of the work of my team members, even though you as a leader might be able to do a lot of stuff, and even though maybe you've done a lot of it before, just because you can doesn't mean you should. You probably have other things that you should be doing that maybe you aren't doing because you're doing the stuff that you already know. Which leads us to the next point. You see, when you've got the beautiful set of silverware there, including the fork and the salad fork, you know that you delegate a job to a various piece of silverware, right? So for us as leaders, there's the point. Delegation is important. One of the reasons that we don't delegate is because we keep doing the stuff that we know, even though we ought to let it go. Delegation in many ways is about letting go of things, investing in others so they can do those things, because if we keep doing them, they'll never get the chance. They'll never get the chance to grow. And again, most of all, if we use this for everything, then the other fork gets lonely. If you do all the work, you are putting too much work on yourself, and you're probably not focusing on what you most need to do now as a leader. And lastly, just like this, you know, there's a better tool for ice cream than the salad fork. Someone on your team, someone can probably do it better. Now, that might be hard for you to take. But the reality is, even though you've done a task for a long time and now you are the leader of the people doing that task, it's very possible that there's someone that can do that thing better than you. And if you keep doing it, number 1, you'll never find that out. And number 2, you don't give them the chance to grow. And number 3, if they really can do it better, then isn't that the best choice for all of us? It is. See, the salad fork tells us that we should remember what our job is as a leader. Be very clear about that job and work on doing it well. It reminds us that just because we could do a bunch of other stuff doesn't mean that we should. So we should delegate tasks more effectively and more joyfully. And lastly, you know what? Someone might be able to do the job better than we can. Let me close with today's tweet. Consider the salad fork. It does its job well and leaves the rest to others. A lesson leaders need to remember. Did you know that we have a podcast called the Remarkable Leadership Podcast? And did you know that episodes from Remarkable TV are there for your listening pleasure? But that's not all. We also have episodes each week where I'm interviewing a leadership expert or an expert leader. And many weeks we're providing other great content as well. It's called the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. It's free. It's for you. All the links are right here. Hope you'll join us there. And I hope you'll be back here again next week for another episode of Remarkable TV.